Hello, you're watching Tuesday edition of News Mongolia. Today is August 16th. For our top stories, the opening ceremony of the new facility of Transwest Mongolia Company was held. Wheat prices will rise this year. ArtGer cooperates with a Korean YouTuber. For other news, stay tuned. The Transwest Mongolia Company, which has opened a new headquarters, maintenance and spare parts storage center in the capital's Bayonggol district, celebrated the opening of its Komatsu Center today on August 16, 2022.
Transwest Mongolia has invested more than 60 billion MT in new facilities with an area of 22,000 square meters containing maintenance equipment and spare parts. Transwest Mongolia LLC, which is 100% financed by Japan's Sumitomo Corporation and Canada's SMS Equipment, has been operating in Mongolia since 2009. The company has successfully implemented the work of supplying spare parts and maintaining service to the mining companies for the equipment and machinery of the Japanese Komatsu Corporation. During this period, Transwest Mongolia LLC has successfully supplied Oyotolga open-pit mining equipment and cooperated with many domestic and foreign companies engaged in gold, copper, coal and iron ore mining.
This is a celebration of us. It marks our grand opening. We actually celebrated our 10-year here back 3 years ago, but due to COVID we weren't allowed to celebrate it. So we moved to this facility here about 16 months ago, and with the reopening and the challenges in Mongolia, we decided to have a grand opening today. It's a huge accomplishment for us and our employees are very proud of it. We started business here in 2009 and we registered as a company, and obviously just like most foreign mining companies that come into Mongolia, we were chasing the OT dream. We were very successful at that time. Another milestone for us is probably this facility here, whereas over the initial 3 or 4 years, all of our products and overhaul work went to China for remanufacturing by Komatsu. Now we do 100% of that work in Mongolia, with Mongolians, invested in Mongolia, and we train our employees. We've done that over the last 5 years to do that here in Mongolia. So that's a significant milestone for us, is training and upskilling our Mongolian staff. Thank you. No problem at all. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Since 2013, Transwest Mongolia LLC has been consistently selected as the best tax and social insurance payer and top 100 enterprise in Mongolia, and as part of the Mongolian government's foreign investment support policy, it has effectively increased jobs and contributed more than 220 billion MT in the form of CIT, custom tax, and social insurance contributions to the state budget. During the difficult times of the pandemic, Transwest Mongolia aimed to provide comprehensive services of heavy-duty equipment to their customers in the mining and road construction industries by attracting additional investment from Canada and Japan. The Minister of Mining, Hyundong, and more than 250 guests from the embassies of Japan, USA, Australia, Canada, the Mongolia USA and Mongolia Australia Chambers of Commerce, representatives of foreign and domestic companies, Mongolian mining companies and enterprises, and banking and financial institutions participated in the grand opening ceremony.
The harvesting season will begin in about 20 days. Farmers say wheat prices will be higher due to equipment cost increases. 90% of the materials and equipment used for agriculture are imports. During spring sowing, prices for most commodities had increased, which affected farmers. With the harvesting season starting soon, farmers are concerned about wheat prices.
Due to exchange rate differences, the prices for combines have soared. This year, prices increased for commodities, fuel and labor, but we will manage to harvest our crops.
We couldn't even pay last year's debt. This year, our biggest worry is selling our wheat. Price increases have been affecting farmers badly. Previously, they bought plant protection agents for around 15,000 Mongolian tugruks per kilogram, but this year they are being sold for about 40,000 Mongolian tugruks. Farmers want the government to purchase wheat in accordance with their high production costs. Otherwise, they say domestic wheat cultivation is on the brink of extinction.
Last year, the export of agricultural products didn't increase. Products such as wheat and vegetable oil couldn't be sold overseas. This situation resulted in financial difficulties for farmers. This fall, we'll work toward exporting more agricultural products to stabilize the industry.
This year, domestic flour factories have no reserves. These factories are expected to purchase this year's wheat. The Ministry of Agriculture and the National Farmers Union will meet this week to set wheat prices, which will be announced next week. ArtGer, one of Mongolia's top YouTube cooking channels, is collaborating with Korean YouTuber and barbecue master Babgub Nam. The team visited him in South Korea in late July and introduced him to Mongolian cuisine. Babgub Nam is now in Mongolia for the next leg of the culinary exchange. ArtGer produces documentary-style videos with English subtitles, showing viewers how to make traditional Mongolian cuisine with a touch of elegance and creativity. From July 26th through August 4th, the ArtGer team was in South Korea to take part in the Asia BBQ Challenge with South Korean YouTuber Babgub Nam. His channel has nearly 1.4 million subscribers.
We introduced lamb and pork horhuk. The guests were astonished to learn that Mongolia had this kind of food. After they tasted it, they loved it. It was during lunchtime and we served about 150 guests our lamb and pork horhuk. We cooked the pork in the traditional Mongolian method of using hot stones. In the past, I had seen Mongolian history and culture only through TV and videos. But when I saw them cooking in real time, it was different than I imagined. The food was so delicious, it tasted good, even though the food was made with Korean meat and vegetables. When I come to Mongolia, I'm looking forward to tasting other food cooked by the ArtGer team.
The Korean YouTuber arrived in Mongolia on August 11th for a one-week stay. He and his team will visit 3 provinces. The ArtGer YouTube channel has about 500,000 subscribers. They are introducing Mongolian food to the world through high-quality video content. Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Recycling is highly encouraged, but the general public hasn't made it a daily practice yet. A senior citizen in 2 provinces is setting a great example with his commitment to recycling. Muh Jargal and his wife Altan Chimik started recycling 2 years ago. He says that sorting waste and separating glass, cans and plastic keeps his household garbage lean and clean. He points out that recycling is not only environmentally friendly, but is also profitable to turn waste into money. We used to throw garbage out as a whole without sorting it. Now we have these sorting bins and young children are interested in recycling. The sorting bins are part of Muh Jargal's dream home. He's planted over 100 fruit trees and bushes in his yard, and he also grows vegetables. He also built a gazebo, playground, footbridge, and pond for enjoying their outdoor space. In addition to his love of gardening, Muh Jargal is a skilled carpenter. His active and busy lifestyle brings positive changes to his community. Here comes the international news from our partner agencies. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Monday released his evening video address accusing Russia of nuclear blackmail and calling for new sanctions to be imposed in response to it. He said Russian troops were continuing to use the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant as cover for attacks on nearby towns. He warned that the presence of Russian forces around Europe's largest nuclear power plant threatened Europe and beyond. All Russian forces must immediately withdraw from the station and neighboring areas without any conditions, Zelensky said in his address, amid rising fears for potential radiation leak due to the fighting. He said everything depends only on the direction and strength of the wind. If Russia's actions lead to a catastrophe, the consequences may hit those who remain silent so far. Zelensky said he had spoken to the Nigerian president on Monday and gave details about the creation of a Crimean platform, a platform for work on the liberation of Crimea. 5 European citizens captured in eastern Ukraine went on trial Monday in a court administered by Kremlin-backed separatists in the city of Donetsk, Russian media reported. The 5 Europeans all pleaded not guilty to charges of mercenarism and undergoing training to seize power by force, according to Russian media. They could face the death penalty under the laws of the self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic. The next court hearing in their case is scheduled for October, the Interfax news agency reported, citing a statement by the separatist court. On June 9th, the Supreme Court of the self-proclaimed Republic sentenced 2 Britons and a Moroccan, all of whom were captured by pro-Russian forces in Ukraine's industrial east, to death for being mercenaries. All 3 have appealed their verdicts. Ukrainian social media has been abuzz with speculation that the Kremlin may seek to use the foreign fighters to extract concessions from Ukraine or swap them for Russian prisoners. Russian President Vladimir Putin opened an annual military forum, Army 2022, on Monday, claiming that many samples of Russian high-precision weapons were significantly ahead of Western models. The forum, traditionally held on the outskirts of Moscow, demonstrates Russia's newest inventions in the military sphere, its most innovative military equipment and vehicles. Putin said, "We are talking about high-precision weapons and robotics, about combat systems based on new physical principles. Many of them are years or maybe decades ahead of their foreign analogs, and in terms of tactical and technical characteristics, they are significantly superior." Putin thanked the companies supplying the Russian army with weapons and said that they work for the victory. This year's Army 2022 forum showcased more than 28,000 modern samples of military and dual-use products, as well 1,500 domestic defense industry organizations, Putin said. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday hailed India's diversity, calling it the country's greatest strength as he marked 75 years since independence from British rule. Modi addressed the country from New Delhi's 17th century Mughal-era Red Fort, saying the world was looking forward to India to help resolve global issues. Modi said the journey of the past 75 years had seen ups and downs with India battling against all odds with resilience and perseverance. He said India's diversity, which others thought was a burden for India, that diversity is India's invaluable strength. Now let's take a look at our regular feature on sports. Between May 31st and June 22nd, FIFA held 3 seminars to thoroughly prepare the 36 referees, 69 assistant referees, and 24 video match officials from all 6 confederations chosen to officiate at the upcoming FIFA World Cup, Qatar 2022.
The Road to Qatar 2022 project started already in 2019 with more than 50 trios considered possible candidates and going through intensive preparation. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, however, this preparation was anything but easy, as in-presence activities were suspended for a long period.
When I received the invitation for the World Cup, that I was selected with my team, this is an unbelievable feeling. For me, a dream come true, really. When I started as a referee, I was 12 years old, and my goal was already, I want to reach the top. And I was dreaming of the World Cup. And be here now, for me, is goosebumps, really.
For me, it's a big privilege to share the field, finally, with our female colleagues. But I am not surprised at all, because I work with them all these many years. For me, them being here is something that is based on quality, and it was a matter of time that they will be here. So I'm not surprised at all that they are with us, and I'm really, really happy to share the field with them.
The 3-day seminars enable officials from each confederation to come together in Asunción, Paraguay, Doha, Qatar, and Madrid, Spain, led by Pierluigi Collina, chairman of the FIFA Referees Committee, and Massimo Busacca, FIFA's director of refereeing. The match officials were put to the test in both theoretical classes and on-the-field training sessions each day, allowing the officials to simulate and practice various live match situations.
Lawyers for American basketball star Brittany Griner have filed an appeal of her 9-year Russian prison sentence for drug possession, Russian news agencies reported Monday, amid talks between the U.S. and Russia that could lead to a high-profile prisoner swap.
Griner, an 8-time All-Star center with the WNBA's and Phoenix Mercury, and 2-time Olympic gold medalist, was convicted August 4th after police said they found vape canisters containing cannabis all in her luggage at Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport. Griner admitted that she had the canisters in her luggage, but said she had inadvertently packed them in a haste and that she had no criminal intent. Her defense team presented written statements that she had been prescribed cannabis to treat pain. Her February arrest came at a time of heightened tensions between Moscow and Washington, just days before Russia sent troops into Ukraine. At the time, Griner, recognized as one of the greatest players in the WNBA history, was returning to Russia, where she plays during the US League's off-season. Lawyer Maria Blagovolina was quoted by Russian news agencies on Monday as saying that appeal was filed, as was expected, but the grounds for it weren't immediately clear. The 9-year sentence was close to the maximum of 10 years, and Blagovolina and co-counsel Alexander Poykov said after the conviction that the punishment was excessive. They said that in similar cases, defendants have received an average sentence of about 5 years, with about a third of them granted parole. Before her conviction, the US State Department declared Griner to be wrongfully detained, a charge that Russia has sharply rejected.
Here comes the weather forecast for the world's major cities. This is it for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.